G'day everyone, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I'll be now. This will be my Knackers Yard with a little bit of space. Where are we? Engine done. Gasket arrived. Needed a bit of trimming because it hung out a little bit. So cylinder head cover on, all torqued up, all good to go. Put the manifolds on as well. Manifold boots on. Gave them a bit of a clean up, but they are on as well. What I'm trying to do is just get it as complete as I can, as in one piece as I can, before I then push it aside and get on with the rest of the bike. Little job before I move on is to finish cleaning those off. So that's an after. I should probably replace them, but you know, they work and they're cleaning up quite nicely. So that's a before, that's an after. I may even just show you me doing that, just so you can see this sort of thing. The sort of, you know, the quick turnaround, you can get some half decent results. Once I've got it all together, by which I also include just dropping the spark plugs in rather than torquing them up. So it's a sealed unit, nothing's going to drop in it. I then need to work out how to get that down from up there to down there. Now my plan is, I need to tidy up anyway, but my plan has always been to suspend it, lift it up a little bit, drop the bench, because it's all, you know, I've thrown it together, it's screwed together, drop the bench, lower the engine, put it on the floor, cover it up. I am going to put the bench back up on top of it, just so I've got some workspace to get on with the rest of the elements of this. Exhaust wise, put that back before I lose it. Exhaust wise, you know, people are saying if the downpipes are okay, then use it. The downpipes are absolutely fine on this. I'm giving them a quick, you know, exploratory turn on my Scotch-Brite wheel. I think they'll come up really well. That's what I'm calling a collector box, but isn't. That's come up beautifully. I'm really quite impressed with that. I've still got the plates for them somewhere. I have given the, I can't remember what they're called, header pipes, sealant units, whatever. I have given them a clean up and given them a coat of the same stuff that the engine's in. I don't intend to do the pipes, but I just thought that would look, you know, pretty good. Just rammed on there. I might actually chuck them on just so I don't lose them or drop them. But I'm going to get on with these bolts first. Right, so quick show and tell. That's what it looks like to start with. Pretty manky. I'll do it in real time so you can actually see that Scotch-Brite wheel on. Bolt on or nut on a bolt, I should say. That'll do. Over onto the polishing side. I've got some black, which, if I remember correctly, I'll put on there rough and deep. That's not sexual technique, that is what it's good for. Apparently, I looked it up a year ago, still got it on there and haven't thought about it since, but it seems to do a decent enough job. Hey dude, have a look. Cool, that's a lot off the top, and that looks a lot better. The weight's not there. How are you at the back? Sorry? Oh, that's good, you still got it. Brill. Good job, mate. Jude, you can keep the chains, mate. You're doing that on your own, well done. Did you get my card? Excellent. Can you put it on the side in the kitchen, please? Excellent. I think I've got a free haircut coming soon. Not for me. Yeah, so I've just dropped my two eldest at the barbers and left them to it for the first time, and they've come back with it all looking good, not shaved like mine. Right, there you go. That's literally how long I'm spending on it. You know, it's not a fully polished end state but it's certainly good enough to go back on a 40-plus-year-old bike. Right, I'm going to get on with the rest of those and I'll drop you back in. Right then, I've had a bit of a tidy up. I've moved all the stuff from underneath, cleared the bench a little bit. I thought I'd do a quick view around the engine so far. So I've given all those bolts a quick once over, and I've just put the exhaust mounts on so I don't lose them more than anything else. I want that to be as complete as it can be. Now obviously I haven't got the oil filter on because that hangs lower than the sump, and I can't lay it on a flat surface, so I haven't got the oil filter on. I just do still need to put the eventual clutch plates in. I do have new steels as well as plates, so I can use those existing steels, those really quite rusted and fucked around ones. I can use those as a bracket to do up the high torque on the clutch basket, which, if you have been watching before, I tried to make like a hockey stick, mounted it off the wrong bits, and it all went a bit tits. But I can do all of that when it's either on the bike or on the ground, probably on the bike, because there's no point putting oil in it, making it heavier while I'm still lugging it around. So what I'm going to do is wrap this. By wrap I mean plastic, probably with a towel over the top, because again, for those that have seen before, my hoist that I have down here, my little hobby hoist, has the chain that drops down below it, and the last thing I want is for that metal chain to be cuffing against my nice fresh paint. So I'm going to try and protect it as much as I can, work out where I'm going to mount it. I might look at my old video to see where I mounted it last time, can't remember. Pretty sure it's through the main straps here at the front, but I can't remember at the back, so I'll have a look. Right, let me get on with that. Right, so bin bags and a towel, wrapping it. I've got my straps on. Let's see how much this swings around. I'm going to try and get it in the air, but we shall see. I might have to shorten those straps. I don't know how far up this actually goes. Yep, that's about a centimetre off the block. Right, I don't want to swing that up too far, because if it comes down I'd rather it be that centimetre. Now I need to just start working out how I put this together. Yeah, right, let me get my drill set up and I'll drop you back in. Right, so I've got my drill. It should just be the bolts around the edge. And then pull the base away, if I remember correctly. So let's give it a go. I think it's shelves first. That's the bolts out. I should have done that while it was still all stationary. Didn't like waving that around. A lot of bolt heads were caught in the wood as well. Sorry, screw heads. Right, let's try and get this fucker down, shall we? I'm all good that side. All good this side. Job is a fish. I'm trying not to cut the engine with the chains where I can get away with it. That works actually. Right. That's the lid down. Don't really need to mess around with that leg. This one I do. Again, trying not to get underneath it in case it all goes very wrong very quickly. I don't really want to put the engine on the floor. Do have that, which I think will do me. Alright. Actually that works down there. slightly going to cut it. 100% hindsight, flip-flops might not have been the footwear of choice either. And we have touchdown. And I'm sweating through heat and panic. Oh. Whew. Right, as ever, well, this is not a how-to, this is a how-I. If you want to raise and lower an engine, I thoroughly suggest you do it with the correct equipment in a safer way, but that worked. Without killing me. I would thoroughly suggest not doing it in flip-flops either. Not that safety shoes would have saved me a considerable amount if that decided to drop. All I can say is that I was going with the mantra there of if it drops, don't catch it, if it drops, don't catch it. Because the natural urge is to rush towards and try and catch these things. Bad idea when it's an engine that weighs similar to you. It's that sort of thing you'll only try once. There we go. He's rested down there. Right, I'm going to shift it around a little bit, rebuild the bench, and try and get this garage into some semblance of order. And I'm back on voiceover because it didn't bloody record. So that's the bench all set up. I've tidied away everything and chucked away my lubes and all that lot. Seems weird to have the engine under there, having put so much time, effort and resource into it. I need to tuck it away underneath, but I need it covered away. I need it away because I need the space to continue the build. So I've left it covered, wrapped up and good to go. I've moved all my bits and pieces up there. So I've got one box still with the carb in it, the other one empty, and the little ones with just the spare valves that I've still got for it. So I'm all set up and ready to go on to the next bit. On the top there I've got the exhausts and the headers ready to go. I'll have to remember to take some photos of these so that they're good for a kind of a before and after. I'll give those a polish up, I'm sure, but not right now. It's probably an evening job as much as anything else. Next job is to grab Mick out of the back and pull him out so that I can actually get to him. I think I'm going to have, like blue run there so that I can wheel him in and out as and when I need to do the work. It's tricky with Mick because his tyres are completely screwed. They're utterly flat, or they were until I pumped them up anyway. They're just old and perished as much as anything else, but he's not as mobile as Blue. So next job is to pick him up and hoik him round and push him up against the left hand side of my garage, just to give me enough space to get to him and work out what I'm going to do next. And there we go, there's Blue in, there is Mick pushed up against the side, which gives me enough access that I can push Blue in and out as I go, and use him throughout the rest of the week anyway. Got the cameras on. I did try on an upload, which I'm not sure whether or not I'm actually going to go live with, but I forgot to put a sodding card in it. So I got that completely wrong. I also did a brief recording and realised that I had put them the wrong way round again. Working out which camera was front and which way was back by the size of the file. So, front is the better quality one. I've got enough space up there to get working. I can get to it with Blue in there quite happily, and just tinker away as much as anything else when I get a few minutes of an evening throughout the week. Yeah, definitely enough space to do things like the headers as much as anything else. Although I am going to have to take those teacups back, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. Looking across at Mick and trying to work out what I'm going to do next and utilise this space as I go along. I don't know what I'm prattling on about here, because I'm still looking at my bench and I want to talk about the bike. Come on, Nat. Enough on your bench. It's put back together and it works. There we go. There we go. Move across. There's Mick. So what on Mick? It's really getting to the frame now. I really want to have a go at that tank and try and de-rust it, but there's no point if I'm just going to hang it outside and not use it for sort of 2 or 3 weeks while I sort out the rest. So what I need to do is get to the frame, and to the swinging arm, and to the wheels, and to the tyres, etc. The headstock bearings are fine, it's steered fine left to right, etc. But I do need to start working my way through, and I'm still, you know, whether it's front to back, back to front, I don't know yet, but we'll see one way or another. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely we are getting there, and thank you for continuing to follow this little journey with this old XJ650. I'm enjoying it. It's nice to get away from the engine now. I've spent so much time doing it, but yeah, it's now a case of working my way through the frame, getting it looking good as the bare metal before I start working my way through to the final design and what eventually I want it to look like. I've got a good idea. I've had a play so far that might not survive contact until the end, but we shall see. One way or another, I'm enjoying the journey and it's quite good fun so far. So that'll do me for another one. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the support. Cheers.